Presented by Listen Headlines, latest world news from trusted sources. Updating daily at 6 a.m. New York.
Washington Post World.
June 20th, 5:18 America New York, Belgium returns Congo independence hero's tooth to family. Belgian authorities have returned a gold-capped tooth of the slain Congolese independence hero Patrice Lumumba. New York Times World News.
June 20th, 5 o'clock America New York. The killing of Shireen Abu Akleh. Tracing a bullet to an Israeli convoy. A New York Times investigation found that the bullet that killed a Palestinian-American journalist was fired from the approximate position of an Israeli military vehicle.
Mirror World News.
June 20th, 4:44 America New York. Mystery as two dead bodies found in van with police confirming deaths weren't natural. Indianapolis police believe that the man and woman died of unnatural causes, and an investigation into their deaths remains ongoing after their bodies were found in a van.
The Washington Times Stories. Advocacy.
June 20th, 4:43 America New York. BTS breaks sparks debate on activism, military exemptions. The surprise announcement by BTS last week that they were taking a break to focus on members' solo projects stunned their global fanbase, shaking their label's stock price and leaving many questions about the K-pop supergroup's future. RT World News.
June 20th, 4:36 America New York. Russophobia. Russians in the West complain as some consider them personally responsible for the conflict in Ukraine. RT talks to Russian citizens facing discrimination abroad and looks into the current situation for foreigners in the world's largest country.
Washington Post World.
June 20th, 4:33 America New York. Syrian state media say attack on army bus kills 13 troops. Syrian state media are saying that an attack on a military bus in the country's north has killed 13 soldiers and wounded 2.
Mirror World News.
June 20th, 4:27 America New York. Vladimir Putin loses 55th colonel in Ukraine when attack helicopter hit by missile. Well-decorated Lieutenant Colonel Sergei Gundarov, 51, was struck near Volnovika in the Donbass, making him the 55th officer of the same rank slaughtered by Ukrainian forces since the start of the war.
Mirror World News.
June 20th, 3:49 America New York. 9 Omicron symptoms to look for in the fully vaccinated, and signs you may have it. The Omicron variant is once again running riot, this time in China, where new lockdown measures are set to be introduced to battle the strain, which has 9 key symptoms to look out for.
Washington Post World.
June 20th, 3:34 America New York. China says mid-course missile interception test a success. China says it has successfully conducted a mid-course missile interception test, a move that could advance its ability to withstand foreign intervention as it presses its territorial claims.
Time.
June 20th, 3:01 America New York. Snowflake Mountain isn't just pandering to viewers on the right. It's also hinting at where Netflix may be headed. Snowflake Mountain is, depending on your age, location, and political sympathies, either pandering to you or trolling you. Its bias is right there in the first word of the title, a favorite pejorative of conservatives who perceive those to their left, particularly young people, as overly sensitive.
Fox World News.
June 20th, 2:10 America New York. Ukraine moves to restrict Russian culture by banning certain books, music. Ukraine is moving to reduce Russian culture and influence in the country after the Ukrainian parliament voted Sunday to stop the printing of books by Russian citizens and to ban music by post-1991 Russian citizens.
BBC News World.
June 20th, 1:34 America New York. Chinese tornado rips through buildings and power cables. A tornado has severely damaged buildings, cars and infrastructure in the southern Chinese city Foshan.
BBC News World.
June 20th, 1:32 America New York. Ukraine war. Russia becomes China's biggest oil supplier. Chinese energy giants have been ramping up imports of heavily discounted Russian oil in recent months.
BBC News World.
June 20th, 0:58 America New York. Dozens killed and millions stranded from India and Bangladesh floods. Millions of others have been stranded as rescue workers struggle to reach those affected.
Time.
June 20th, 0:36 America New York. President Macron loses majority in French election setback. Paris, France. President Emmanuel Macron made history in the French legislative elections Sunday, just not in the way he hoped. After his re-election in April, most observers expected Macron to get an outright majority in parliament, as presidents have for decades.
New York Times World News.
June 20. 001 America New York. New brand of activist takes aim at Ukraine war and climate crisis, together. Led by young women from Eastern Europe, they are cornering Europe's leaders and pressing them for a total energy embargo on Russia, to end the fighting and to save the planet. Protesters in May at Schuman Square in Brussels pushing for a total ban on Russian energy.
The Washington Times stories. Advocacy.
June 19. 2357 America, New York. Teen killed. Officer. 2 adults shot at unpermitted Mochella event in D.C. A 15-year-old boy was shot to death and 3 adults, including a police officer, were wounded after a musical event lacking a permit erupted into chaos on a District of Columbia street Sunday night, police said.
Time.
June 19. 2353 America, New York. Colombia gets its first leftist president as former rebel defeats millionaire in tight election. Bogotá, Colombia. Former rebel Gustavo Petro narrowly won a runoff election over a political outsider millionaire Sunday, ushering in a new era of politics for Colombia by becoming the country's first leftist president.
New York Times World News.
June 19. 2256 America, New York. Your Monday briefing. Russia's brutal campaign to capture Severodonetsk. Ukrainian battle tanks heading in the direction of Toshkivka Sunday afternoon.